An international student was arrested and is facing deportation from Canada for working too much. Literally. That's what's happening. So let me give you this story. On December 13th, 2017, while driving a commercial vehicle between Montreal and Toronto, Sandhu, 22, was pulled over by an Ontario provincial police officer at the side of Highway 401 for a routine traffic stop, a report said. A few moments later, with little explanation, he claimed, Sandhu was arrested, handcuffed, and placed in the back seat of an OPP squad car. A police background check showed Sandhu had no criminal history at the time of his arrest. What he had done, however, and what a review of his driver's logbook revealed that day, was exceed the maximum number of hours an international student in Canada is allowed to work each week. Now, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is a system designed for people that inherit money. People have to work to be able to afford to go to school. It costs a ton of money, as I'm going to show you here in a second. So this idea that international students can only work 20 hours a week, clearly what this means is that only the wealthiest of international students are actually able to go to school in Canada, because anybody else would not be able to actually go to work to be able to put themselves through school. So let me give you more information about the situation that he was in at the time of his arrest. So at the time of his arrest, Sandhu was 10 days away from finishing a diploma at Canadore College in Mississauga to become a mechanical engineering technician. During the ride, which lasted roughly 45 minutes, Sandhu said he remained handcuffed. Now, this is another unfortunate aspect of the story. How close he was to finishing his diploma before he got caught for working too much. Now, let me give you a little more information here about what our laws say and how much the cost of tuition right now is. Under current rules, international students in Canada can work up to 20 hours a week off campus without a separate work visa. During scheduled breaks, including summers, foreign students are allowed to work full-time. But the cost of living plus the high cost of tuition, roughly $27,000 in international student fees, meant Sandhu had to work more in order to remain in school, he said. So we have this situation where there's the rising cost of tuition. You have international students only able to work up to 20 hours a week off campus. Again, how is anybody able to afford going to school if they are not working, if they don't already have money from their parents or money from a guardian, somebody else? So if you're in a situation like this, I mean, obviously for students that are from Canada, a lot of them work more than 20 hours a week to be able to afford to go to school. So why should the rules be different for international students? Now, I get it. Some people say, well, it's kind of a loophole because I guess you could apply to go to school in Canada, but really what you're doing is you're working full-time in Canada instead. So, yeah, I understand the potential loophole there, but there should be a better way to deal with this than deporting somebody because they couldn't afford to go to school unless they worked more than 20 hours a week. Now, let me give you some more information here about just how much international students contribute to the economy. So, according to an analysis by the federal government, international students contribute $15.5 billion annually to the Canadian economy. These students also support roughly 170,000 jobs. So, I mean, this is a rigged system. It's a system designed for people that already have money. You inherit the money, you go to school fine. You don't even have to work in most cases. But if you're somebody that has to be able to, has to work to put yourself through school, if you're an international student, it appears there is a set of rules only designed for people for international students that already have money. And if you have to work to put yourself through school, then apparently you're not invited to this country.